Today we're making a mobile endless runner game. But which AI do you think is the best? ChatGPT 5.4, which was recently released, or Claude Opus, extremely powerful too? Or is it Reblin, the underdog in the round? Who's gonna win the battle? We're gonna put them all to the test and make them create something similar, something like Temple Run or Subway Surfer, but with their own creative version, with their own twists. So let's see what they can do, and we're gonna give it around 30 minutes time. Starting off with ChatGPT. I'm asking it for a creative version of an endless runner game, and then it came up with this prompt. It's quite long, so if you want to read it, just pause the video. And I was kind of tempted to refine it, but for the sake of this test, I think we're gonna stick to it. And let's just copy it, create a new project in Codex. If you don't know what Codex is, it's basically the coding app of ChatGPT. Then we select ChatGPT 5.4, extra high, full access. If you want to use that, probably check out yourself what are the implications of this, because it's kind of a YOLO mode. And then we paste in the prompt and submit, of course. Now it was actually running for around 15 minutes, I would say. And let's see what it has to show. All right, so we got the menu screen, we got the controls, nice background blur, tap to start, and okay, that looks pretty sloppy. Controls are working. It doesn't pick up the orbs perfectly, but it's responsive. It's not bad at all. Now, at first I was thinking, what kind of bubble is this in front of me? But I think this is supposed to be the light beam. It's funny how AI always finds a way. Now it also shows the score, the distance, and it also has a combo factor, but I'm not sure for what it exactly is. And obviously, just judging from a style standpoint, it has this typical neon style, super unoriginal, of course. But to be fair, that's what the prompt suggested. And it was basically the prompt that ChatGPT came up with. Now, we have a bit of more time, so let's refine it a bit and make it more beautiful using the image generation model, which is implemented as a skill right in Codex, and it can basically generate assets for the game. So for that, it obviously needs my OpenAI API key that I tried to submit directly in chat, but it just refused and completely freaked out and basically said I'm gonna end up under a bridge if I keep pasting this API key. So I had to submit the key as a secret present. Anyway, let's see version number 2. Right away, we can see that it used an asset for the background of the menu, which looks pretty nice, I think. I don't like the style in general, but that's subjective. Then you start the game and you're obviously back in slop mode. Now, it also added these portals here, so that's where it used the assets for. And these portals port you up, so it's kind of like an interesting mechanic, but it doesn't seem to work too good. You just fall back down sometimes, but I would say it still looks a bit better in this version. ChatGPT 5.4. So as the next one, we move to Claude Opus. So I started the timer and asked it to give me a detailed prompt. This time I steered it a bit more towards the Temple Run style, and it suggested me this very detailed prompt here, which I then pasted again into Claude Code with Opus, of course, the highest model. It got right to work and started running and even testing the game itself in the terminal. It took screenshots and refined the game, kind of like the Codex playwright skill. Then it verified the game is working, and as you can see, it has some rings that you can collect, the controls are working, and there are also some obstacles. The obstacles don't work perfectly though, but generally I like the style a lot more than ChatGPT's, especially with the shadows in the back. It just creates a lot more atmosphere. It even created these scary puppets here on the way with red glowing eyes. Now, after the initial prompt, we still had some time, of course, so I followed up with another one, which turned out to be a bit of a mistake, because I requested to make it in daylight environment and also make it more appealing, whatever that means. It went off again and started testing, refining, coding, all the typical stuff. But as you can see, now it looks not as good anymore, at least for my taste. It has a very low contrast, and it's really hard to see the blocked out elements. Also, it still featured the collision problems. So sometimes I could just run through the walls as they were not there. Now, of course, I followed up with another prompt trying to fix the collision and make the game look good again with a bit more contrast. Now it kept testing again, and it also, which I didn't notice before, had this cool map flyover, if you ignore the misplaced text of course. And for the new version, as you can see, it increased the contrast and it also fixed, well, I would say 90% of the collision bugs. Since we have only a couple more minutes left for Claude, let's try it with one last improvement. So I just told it something very broad and something you probably shouldn't do, just make it more extreme. And I can't say Claude didn't try because it went off to work for a while, but in the end it only added a few particles here and there and different levels of speed. I was expecting a bit more, like explosions and stuff like that, but maybe it's just not right to do this kind of careless prompting. But overall, I would still rate it slightly above ChatGPT's output. And now moving on to the last contender, which is Reblin, which is my personal mobile AI game generator, which I'm launching very soon. So this is kind of like an exclusive preview to it. Now for the first prompt, I'm gonna keep it very broad as well here and just type make an endless runner game, come up with a creative idea that makes it look original and amazing. I confirm and it starts generating as usual. So let's see what it comes up with. Shiba Dash, interesting. So it's basically a dog-focused endless runner. I mean, why not? People like dogs and people like endless runners, might as well combine both. So you pick up these bones as points, that's pretty cool. Jumping works, controls work. Also, it has sound effects. And there's even a power-up. If you pick up the sushi here, for example, you will get a shield. I don't know if dogs actually should eat sushi, but it's definitely coherent with the gates and the tiles you're walking on. There's also a second level, so it goes up and down, like you would see it on Subway Surfer, for example. And you have the trees and grass at the sides, which definitely support the whole look. And on the horizon, you even see a tower. Now, obviously, you wouldn't have to stay with this version. You can change the assets. You can change pretty much everything that Reblin picked, but you could also build on top of it. For example, I was thinking to add an additional power-up that gives you extra lives. So I prompted, add a power-up that looks like a rotating glowing Shiba dog, and when picked up, it spawns 2 more Shiba dogs running to the left and the right, essentially giving the players 2 more lives. And let's see if it implemented it, the new power-up. Yes, seems to work. It switches the positions, and if you run into something, it deducts the life. So that's pretty cool. Makes the game a bit easy, but we will change that very soon. But for now, let's just try something visually. Let's, for example, make the sky a bit more blue. So I just prompt, make the sky more blue, obviously. And what it does is it changes the color of the sky accordingly. Now, if you want to make it harder, you can, for example, create an interesting mechanic. My idea was create a green poison version of this sushi roll as a debuff. So if it is picked up, the entire game screen turns upside down for 10 seconds before turning back to normal. So let's see how this one goes. And as far as I can tell, everything is still working just fine until we run into the poisonous sushi roll. And oh, that's actually quite hard because the controls are also inverted. Of course, you can adjust the length of it. You can adjust pretty much everything about this game. So who knows, maybe I will continue working on this and then just push it to the App Store, which will also be super easy on Reblin. You can just click here and it will basically help you to share that to the App Store and then launch your own game there. And you can also obviously just share it as a link with other people and they can instantly play it. So visit reblin.co with a link in the description and put in your email so you'll be notified. Of course, these examples are a bit cherry-picked, but our goal is to make it as easy as possible for everyone to make mobile games and publish them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe, of course, and I'll catch you in the next one.